Hello, everybody. Ian Robson. Welcome back to an episode of Coffee with Ian. It's hot coffee today, which is good. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about FS19 seasons, as the title suggests. So Seasons has come out for FS19, and it's quite in depth, much more in depth than it has been it was in the previous version, I should say. There's a lot more involved now, which I like, actually. I know for some people it might be a bit overwhelming because there's a lot involved, a lot more than it used to be. It used to be just so you have the seasons and that's it. Whereas now you have you can plan like crop rotations, you can plan what type of animal you're going to buy, depending on how much money you have and how much milk you think you're going to produce. It looks like they've altered that as well. So depending on which animal you are, like for example, for dairy cows, depending on which cow you get, some cows produce more milk than others. Others eat less food, so it's easier to maintain in that scenario. So that's one of the reasons why you might choose one over the other. Which I thought was kind of neat, actually. So I think with the sheep, I don't know if it makes a difference there. Didn't read down the descriptions of the animals, but on the cows, it definitely does make a difference. So not sure there, but there's definitely a lot of things that they've added into the seasons that they didn't have before. For example, the animal side of things, crop rotations actually play a factor now a little bit more. They have like a multiplying factor for the varying crops. So depending on what you planted versus what you have, what's coming, what was before, what was after, those things come into play now too. So it'll show you like let's say you put a fallow field, then you put corn, then you put soybean, something like that. They'll give you like a multiplying factor on that, which is kind of cool because then you can do a little bit of planning and say, okay, which one do I want to put in first, which one do I want to put in second, and how much of a benefit is actually going to give me. Is it going to give me a lot of benefit, a little bit of benefit? That's their factor they've actually included in there, which I think is very cool, actually. So, and then the other thing they include in relation to animals is that they can graze for themselves, which is kind of neat. So I don't know if that needs to be incorporated into a map specifically, or if that's something you can just plunk down a barn with, and the animals automatically graze. I don't think that's quite the case. I think there's a bit more to it than that, but it is still pretty cool regardless. The other big thing, what's the other big thing? Other thing I've noticed is the weeds they function a bit differently. In previous versions, it used to be just the weeds would cover your whole field, and now it's kind of like certain areas get it's more localized, which is interesting because then you have to kind of make a call. Do I spray the whole field? Do I just spray those areas where the weeds are? Apparently, when you spray the whole field, it's a bit of a preventative thing. So you can actually you stop the weeds where they actually are, and you also stop the weeds where they might show up, sort of idea, which is interesting because it does allow that. It does kind of give you that randomized factor there, and kind of makes you think about it a bit more rather than just spraying it every single time, I suppose. So, also been messing around with the auto drive mod a little bit with FS19 as well, which has been pretty interesting because what's happened is you can use Courseplay for like almost everything basically, but you can also use auto drive for many of the same functions. And one of the nice things about auto drive in FS19 is that you can kind of create a main loop and then build on that loop. So it's kind of neat. So you have like your main circuit, and then you kind of go off in different directions from that main circuit. You don't always need to create a new course from the right at the beginning area to right at the end. You can kind of just go halfway through. Howdy, are you going to play multiplayer? Not today. I gotta get off to work shortly, so just doing a little bit of a coffee with Ian this morning, Ghost Gamer. So but yeah, that's the other neat thing about the auto drive. And on a big map like County Line, it's quite nice to have that ability to just kind of have like a main loop, which I've done kind of a main loop. I went from the main farm to the bale cell location, and then you can branch off from there pretty easily if you want to, which is nice. So going to any other cell locations, or I can go to the shop now really easily, or go to a fuel location, which is very easy as well. There's lots of options there because you have your a loop there sort of idea. It doesn't have to be a main loop, just a loop. So, which is kind of neat. I really like that function from Auto Drive. And I think it's capable. It is capable of doing that with Courseplay. I don't know. I never got into that side of things. It is 7 a.m. for me, Ghost Gamer, right now, or 6:57, 6:58 is what time it is for me. So, been up since 5. Just drank a little bit of coffee this morning. Relaxed. Went through some emails, stuff like that, see if I had anything interesting, and then I just looked at boats, basically. Trying to find the right boat, basically, is what I was looking at. I'm like, well, let's see if we can find like a nice boat. Because on Kijiji, I have like an alert notification come up saying, a new ad has been posted, so I'll constantly look at it and go, okay, well, that's not a bad button. Should I go for this? I did confirm with somebody to get an outboard engine. It's a 2.3 horsepower Honda outboard engine, air cooled, not liquid cooled. So it's a bit louder than water cooled, but it means I don't have a water intake down the bottom, which is good because that means you can't suck in any crap, basically. So you'd like to do a hunting video with me one day? Well, maybe. I've done multiplayer on the Hunter Call of the Wild a few times. It's not everyone's game. It's probably why most people don't want to jump in, but I think it's a great game. I like it a lot. It's a lot better than any other hunting game I've played so far, where you could potentially dial it down and make it more simulation, or dial down the arcade side of it and make it more simulation if you wanted to, or you could just leave it the way it is. You got your choice either way. So, which is nice. What else was I gonna say? There was something else. Can't remember. Need to get I keep forgetting to do this, but the John Deere DLC, not the Cotton DLC, but the Gator is what I was thinking about. So I can have a John Deere Gator as opposed to a Mahindra. Because I've actually driven the John Deere Gator that I have on this A65M. We actually have one of those at work now I think about it. Yeah. An A65M is exactly what we have at work, which is crazy. I'll have to make a video one of these days with it, just to show people what it looks like. And it'd be good for making trails. Well, it's good for making trails, I guess, but good for making the routes for auto drive. So, yeah. Anyways, folks, I think that's it for me today. I do need to get off to work at 7 a.m., so I probably should leave in the next 5 minutes or so. My name's Iain Robson. I hope you enjoyed this edition of Coffee with Iain, and until next time, enjoy the coffee. Delicious.